When I go into that prison, any of them, I know exactly what they're thinking about. I know what they feel like. I know what they're going through.
I don't want to see people out there killing each other no more, or out there selling dope, or, you know, I mean, they don't need to do that. I mean, I did it, everybody did it. You know, I just want to see everybody change, you know? And if I change, I can see them changing, you know?
Ruth Ann and I have been in ministry together for somewhere around 45 years together. And we have seen God at work, but this is really the first time that we've seen movements happen where there are hundreds of people from outside the church that are finding the Lord. Our ministry here started around 2009. We heard about somebody in a local jail that wanted to meet with me. I first met Donnie because of a relationship that he had with my son. Donnie had asked if I would come in and meet with him, and that was the start of it. I was limited to meeting with one person a week. So what happened, fortunately, after that, I would meet with one person, and that started out being Donnie. And he would go back to the cell where he was, where somewhere between 40 and 60 other men would be. And he would gather with 5 to 10 other men that were interested in learning what he learned. Chris and Donnie were bunkies. And so there was a lot of conversations going on in the cell about what was going on with the time between Donnie and I. And Chris was one of the first people that Donnie set up to meet with individually. Chris was a tough kid from a tough neighborhood in Hammond, Indiana.
Okay, my name is Chris Langwinski. I'm from Hammond, Indiana. I was on C8. It's called a Gladiator Dome back when I was in '09. It used to be the mean pod. It used to be the bad one. Everybody fought, this and that. One day, Donnie Mills came in there. You know, he was my bunkie for a little bit. And then I got moved upstairs because we got in a fight. I went to the hole, came back, got moved. And one day he left. I'm like, where you going? And he's like, I'm gonna go talk to a guy named Phil. And I'm like, who's that, a detective? Are you snitching? He's like, nah, just wait till I get back. I'm like, all right. So about 45 minutes went by, he came back. He came back with a Bible. He's like, hey, Chris, man, come in the room with me. So we went in the room and did Bible study, just me and him. We did it. I liked it. Every day we did it for 2-3 times a day, just me and him. Then it ended up to 3 people. Then it ended up to 4 people. By the end of the week, we had almost a whole pod in there. So we did Bible study every day. We had the whole pod going. We had people want to get baptized. The whole pod turned, instead of a gladiator dorm, they called it the God dorm. Because they went from all gangbangers, drug dealers. See, it used to be the pod with like the gang members, the drug dealers, murderers, and it turned into a Christian pod, you know? It was kind of cool.
Chris and his wife Kelly are actually the first and the clearest example of what it's like for somebody to come out of jail who finds the Lord, and they are a person of peace that brings the Lord to their several generations of their family, to their friends and people in their neighborhood.
I don't turn nobody away. You know, I've been there, I've done it all. I watched a lot of people get hurt, a lot of people die in front of me, you know, and then I never believed in the one day I believed, you know. I feel like God wanted me to do this, change my life to help other people. I just want to see like us build up a big group of all people that were all bad, this and that, and watch them go around and turn into a whole different person, you know. I just want to see everybody change, you know. And if I change, I can see them changing, you know. I just want to see myself one day walking into Phil's church or me with him and be like, man, Phil, we built this church from the ground up. And look at all these people, they're all convicts. And look at them now, they all believe in the Lord.
My name is Scott Heiberger. Just a little backstory on my life. I grew up in Michigan City. I was in and out of trouble right from a very young age. I ended up going to prison 4 different times and just in and out, couldn't stop drinking and using drugs. And then, you know, my 4th time around in prison, I just surrendered my life to Christ.
Shortly after meeting Donnie back in 2009, I heard about Scotty, who reached out to me saying that he'd like to meet with me. And so I went to the jail. I brought a Bible with me, passed it along to him. And Scott and I really only met a couple times.
When I was in the county jail, I asked to receive a Bible, and Phil got a Bible to me that was a commentary Bible that helped me make more sense of the things that were in the Bible.
Scotty is one of those rare individuals that makes the complete circle, who is in jail, goes to prison, gets out, but then God paves a way for him to go back in prison, not as a reoffender, but as a pastor and missionary.
When I go into that prison, any of them, I know exactly what they're thinking about. And I was there, and I know what they're feeling, and now God has brought me out, and I just feel like that He is, you can't take somebody that you've never been, and God has pulled me out of that mess to come back to say, look, I know the way out, and this is the way, to show them the way. And I just know that I know that I know that at least at this season in my life, that's exactly what God wants me to do.
This is clearly a move of God that began with the hunger that one man had, that eventually spread to his cellmates, and eventually hundreds of others within the jail itself. But this movement also went outside, as we saw men like Chris, who had a call to reach their extended family. Scotty, on the other hand, got connected with the church that sent him back into the prison to pastor a new congregation where he was once incarcerated. And there are 150 to 200 guys that gather each week. 10 to 20 guys are giving their lives to the Lord. So, you know, from what we're talking about here, this is about 1,000 people that we can chronicle. But really, we're not going to know the actual numbers till we get to heaven.
And then God's just strategically placing people like Phil around my life to help me along my way, to be able to find to help navigate me into what He wants me to do.
We lived a hard life. It was like all bad, you know, like everybody's like, man, the Langwinski family, they're all troublemakers, all bad, gang members, like, man. And then we all flipped the script. And now I talk about the Lord, and it's like, man, what happened to them? They're all good now.
It's just been amazing. It's been an incredible walk. And I just can't even believe what He's already done already, let alone what that He has ahead, you know.